What is going on, everybody? It is Mr. Banks here coming at you live with another trade recap. Now, today, before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button to the YouTube so that you guys can get daily educational videos so that you can become the successful traders that I know all of you can be. Now, today, we're going over a trade recap of all of my trade plans that I put out today, which I do put out in the Wolves of Wealth Discord. Now, we are a full-pledged community, as you can see, from education to chats to one-on-ones to call-outs, everything you need to become a successful trader. Now, I do have a super follow. So if we go ahead and click my page, you can go ahead and see the super follow button. Go ahead and click that button as well, because you can get these trade caps there. Now, every single morning to my super followers, I do give all these trade plans so that you can become a successful, profitable trader and bake along with Mr. Banks. Now, today, let's get started with my trade plans. I did say SPY 395, 396 reject, as well as 392 for calls. So let's go ahead and hit SPY. What happened today played out perfectly with my BBR strategy. That is the bounce, break, reject strategy, because as we know, stocks will only do three things. They will bounce off of support, they will reject off of resistance, and they will either break through support, break down over support, or break through resistance. Remember, stocks only do three things. They will bounce, break, and reject. And this is how I find my levels every single morning. Go ahead and check the YouTube for all of my videos on it. So today you can see that it played out absolutely perfectly. We had a bounce at 392 twice. You could have got paid. We also had rejects at 396, paying super well, giving you a 4-point move in either direction. Now, if we want to take a look, let's go ahead and add the pre-market data for you, kind of show you how I got these levels. So as we go along, we can see that in the pre-market, we had 396 as the top of the pre-market, and we had 392 going into close, and essentially the bottom of pre-market as well. Now, guys, the BBR strategy is very simple. We look at pre-market highs and lows, previous days highs and lows, as well as previous days major support or resistance levels, and into close. And as you can see, these levels played out absolutely perfectly on SPY today. This is how we got it. This is exactly how I got my levels, and you can see it played out perfectly. Now, along with my trade plans, I also said if it broke this level, you could take calls. And if we really broke below 392, you could take puts. So as you can see, the BBR strategy is so simple, a child can use it. Now, let's go moving forward. Let's hit AMD. I said reject at 78, 79 for puts, break for 79 for calls. As we know, these levels are big pivot point levels for either direction. I also said break below 76.50 for puts or bounce for calls. Now, I started to become unbiased in my trade plans, so you guys could really get the point that these are pivot levels for you to take. Now, AMD also playing perfectly off of these levels. As you can see, we had puts off of 78, 79 here, as well as calls off of 76.50, almost to the point in the afternoon. Now, again, how did I find these levels? Well, very easy. As you can see, the day before, the big breakdown, right? So we had this area of support was broken, which is where I got that 78, 79 level, right? Big area of support was broken. So now it's going to turn into resistance, as you can see. Got my level there. Pre-market, I found my bottom level in pre-market as the pre-market low, 76.50. Guys, super, super simple. Look at pre-market highs and lows. Look at previous days highs and lows, as well as major areas of support and resistance and close of the previous day and days. And this is how you find these levels. Again, AMD paid handsomely for all of my wolves and super followers. Moving on, I'm trying to make this really quick today. I got to go eat dinner, so I apologize. But next one moving up is Meta. I had 156 at 157 reject for puts, break below 152 for puts or bounce for calls. Again, these levels are pivot point levels, so you can play them to either side. Makes it super easy. So we had 152 as the level for Meta. Let's go back to the 30-minute. But again, as you can see, the pre-market low was 152. And as we came down, we were below it. So I knew if we were going to reject 152, I really wanted to take puts there, as well as you can also use that level as a reject level. As you can see in the middle of the day, intraday, we got a reject there as well. So you could have played this twice today on the break of 152 or the reject of 152. As you can see, it was the pre-market low. Yesterday was 152.62 going into close. And then we also have 152.23. So I saw 52 as a major level. So if we broke below that, we knew to take puts. And of course, if we reject, we take puts as well. Now, moving on to NVIDIA. NVIDIA was a little weird today. I had 134 for reject for puts, break for calls, break below 130 for puts, or bounce for calls. Again, these act as major pivot point levels for either side. So reject 140 for puts on NVIDIA really didn't pan out today. But as you can see, the pre-market high did pan out today at roughly 132, 133. But I saw 130 or 140 for puts. As you can see, the previous day breakdown of the level, right? Breakdown of the level, something we saw earlier in this video with AMD. So this was a major level for me. That's what I was looking at. If we were to come up and hit that, it would have been an easy short potential. And then 130 bounce for calls. We can see right here at the end of the day, that hit absolutely perfectly. Now, again, we could have took 130 break for puts. As you can see right here, we could have taken that trade as well. Now, if you took 129s on this break, they did pay 25%. Now, again, with my BBR strategy, how I like to play breakdowns or breakouts is we enter lightly right before the break. So that if it does reverse or bounce off of that support, you don't get caught up on a major loss, right? But if we get in and it does break down, then we're in it and we can make some profit. And how we would have played this if we played the breakdown was we broke down, retested. When we retest is when we can enter into the position fully or more. Doesn't have to be a crazy full position, but we can do that as well. So if we broke down, entered on the breakdown light, as we saw the retest, we could have entered in more and got a nice little trade. But again, I didn't really like this breakdown. I apologize. The bounce at 130 played better. Why didn't I like this breakdown at 130? Well, because we had two sells, right? Since yesterday, sell. So a lot of sellers came in, but then at this 130 level, a lot of buyers stepped in and stepped up. As we see, we broke down below 130, but then buyers stepped massively in. The bull stepped massively in. So we knew that 130 was a level that they were trying to protect, and we can see we kept bouncing off of it. So even if we did get the sell, which we did, that breakdown, it wasn't going to be much because we saw that the buyers and the bulls were very much in control below this level and at 130, and which is why the 130 bounce would have paid better. Now, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is the BBR strategy. This is how I find my levels every single morning. I try to make a strategy that was so simple that a child can understand and use it and trade. So no, there's none of this weird terminology or any of this other crap that these people try to sell you or feed you. All you need is this very simple, as you can see, paid absolutely crazy today as it does every day. So go ahead and click that subscribe button as I'll keep continuing to drop these videos for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the BBR strategy, and Mr. Banks is out.